it's good to see us. Mr. Wells having surgery today. Raymond won't be here till later. And just the us four council meeting tonight. It's I hope everybody stays healthy and safe until 6. All right. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Motion second, all fair say aye.
Aye.
All right, minutes approved. Mr. Bills.
From the council, we have 4 applications tonight. The first one is SAH BS LLC, Southern Ale House of Dockside. They're applying for a restaurant retail liquor license located at 15129 Marine Drive in Northport. This was presented last week.
Admin. That's the second. First 3 pictures shows. Second one is the zoning map, and the next picture shows the land use map. This was during admin. It was recommended by council to proceed for council meeting tonight.
Are they open? Are they really open?
Not yet. I don't yet.
Is this one where they filled in that block area? Is this the same one?
I'm not sure. All right. My next application, or the next 3 application, will be special retail license less than 7 days, presented by Party Down LLC. The first one will be the Tuscaloosa Alumni Chapter Kickoff. It's going to be at 1150 8th Street. The second application will be for Yay Alabama preseason dinner at 1202 Coleman Coliseum Drive. And the last one will be Designing for Dyslexia, located at 14870 Edgewater Drive.
What is Edgewater Drive? Is that just a lot? What is it?
So I can't answer. Lauren will be here tonight to answer that in more detail for you.
Okay.
It's up on the way. Like Tuscaloosa, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
That's up near that same area where that restaurant's gonna be too. That restaurant's right around that corner right there, where Old Smith's Marina is. That's almost across the water from Old Smith's Marina, which is whatever I forget the name of it.
The liquor license is going towards 10 o'clock from there.
That's in that little red shaded area. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's where that Texaco sign is. That's where Old Smith's Marina used to be right there. In that slough. Cause that's 43 right there. On the north side of the lake.
That's it,
Yes,
Tony?
sir.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you, sir. Okay, the mayor may or may not be here tonight, but he won't be here this afternoon. So Brandy.
All right, so we have the special election referendum on ad valorem school tax coming up September 24th. Polls will be open on that day from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I am here to let you guys know that we are looking for poll workers. We have reached out to all of our previous poll workers from the 21 election. We are waiting on hearings back from a lot of them. Some of them have scheduling conflicts, so they can't work the polls. But we were wanting to let everyone know that if they were interested in being a poll worker, they can contact our office, or they can call 311, or they could always just email cityclerk@tuscaloosa.com for an application.
All 7 districts need
All 7 districts need them.
them.
The requirements are that you have to be at least 18 years old. You do not have to be registered to vote for the city of Tuscaloosa, but you do have to be a registered voter for Tuscaloosa County. You have to be able to attend the training that we'll have the week prior. And then you do not have to be a resident of the district that you wish to serve in.
Okay.
So yeah, if you have any questions, you can contact the city clerk's office or Tuscaloosa 311.
Will y'all provide them lunch?
Yes, we will. Yes, and
Well,
they
I
will
tell
get.
you, because all the other, if it's not municipal, I provide lunch for
Yes.
the workers out in Alberta, because the ones that are run by the county, they don't give them lunch.
Right, so we will be
So I give
providing
them 2
lunch,
meals.
and they also will be compensated for the training as well.
Is this per hour that they get paid, or is it a flat fee?
It's a flat fee. It's a flat fee per day, and then there's a flat fee for the training that if they're required by law to attend the training, but it's a flat fee for the training as well.
You got all the usual suspects?
Yes,
Downtown?
we've got the usual suspects. I've had a couple send back their applications already for District 4. But yes, everyone that served previously has already been contacted.
Good.
All right. Thank you, Brandy. Scott?
Good afternoon, council.
Good afternoon.
We had a busy afternoon last Tuesday, and that is reflected on your agenda here today, where I am about midway down page 2, where on page 16 you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a permissive use agreement to SAHDS LLC. This is the Southern Ale House at Dockside, which is related to the alcohol permit you'll have a public hearing on tonight. This is actually doubled up and will be heard in public safety today. I gave a little bit of a preview last week. On page 17, you'll be authorizing a sanitary sewer connection and acceptance agreement with Tuscaloosa County for the Culver Road Sanitary Sewer Project. This was discussed in projects last week. On page 18, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute a right-of-way permit to Brian and Shane Yoakley. This was discussed in projects last week. On page 19, you'll be authorizing non-renewal of the agreement with Red Mountain Entertainment. This comes to you from my office, and this is kind of the first step as part of our transition of the promotion and booking of the amphitheater. On page 20, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute an aviation hangar ground lease with BBC Global LLC at the Tuscaloosa National Airport. That was discussed in projects last week. On page 21, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute an aviation hangar lease with Barbara G. Davis at the Tuscaloosa National Airport. That came to you in projects last week. On page 22 and 23, you'll be adopting the city's 2024 action plan for community planning and development programs and authorizing the submission of the plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. This came to you in CD committee last week. On page 24 and 25, you'll be authorizing the mayor to execute an ingress, egress, and access to city utilities on Patriot Drive to Walmart Real Estate Business Trust for the development north of Patriot Drive. This comes to you from our office. On page 26 and 27, you'll be authorizing execution of agreement between the state of Alabama and the city of Tuscaloosa for the MPO University Corridor Project. This is the University Boulevard East in Mr. Tyner's district, and this is doubled up and will be discussed in finance today. On page 28, you'll be authorizing a contract with Axon Enterprise, Inc., and declaring a bid law exemption pursuant to Alabama Code Section 41-16-51A 15. This is for a total of $43,432.40. On page 29, you'll be authorizing a contract with Florida Drone Supply, Inc., and declaring a bid law exemption pursuant to Alabama Code 41-16-51A 15, and this is a total of $52,464. On page 30, you'll be authorizing a professional study and consult services agreement with Duncan Coker Associates PC for the Veterans Memorial Parkway Pedestrian Bridge Project. This is a total not to exceed $9,700 and was discussed last week in projects. On page 31, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Crimson Carpet and Flooring. This is a total of $6,430 and again was discussed last week in projects. On page 32, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Druid Glass Construction. This is a total of $11,275 and again was discussed last week in projects. On page 33, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with Tusca Blue. This is a total of $1,685 and was discussed last week in projects. On page 34, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with the Cook and Boardman Group. This is a total of $2,771 and again was discussed in projects last week. On page 35, you'll be authorizing a professional services agreement with Jacobs Engineering Group for the Jerry Plot Water Treatment Plant HVAC project. This is a total not to exceed $61,550 and was discussed in projects last week. On page 36, you'll be authorizing a professional services contract with Ward Scott Morris Architecture for architectural and related services for the Bowers Park Improvement Project. This is a total of $671,100 and again was discussed in projects last week. On page 37, you'll be authorizing a minor public works contract with TTL Inc. for engineering and related services for the Bowers Park improvement projects. This is a total of $1,055,200 and was discussed in projects last week. On page 38, you'll be authorizing a purchase of equipment, supplies, or services from Puget Systems for two purchasing workstations, for two workstations for the cyber drone team. This is a total of $17,270.40, and this came to you from purchasing as a previously budgeted item. On page 39, you'll be rejecting all bids for UTV with dump bed. This comes to you from purchasing as well. On page 40, you'll be authorizing disbursement from District 1 improvement funds for the Boys and Girls Club of West Alabama. This is a total of $500 and was discussed in finance last week. On page 41, you'll be authorizing disbursement from District 1 improvement funds for the Tuscaloosa Career Technology Academy Educator Retreat Program. This is for $600 and again was discussed in finance last Tuesday. On page 42, you'll be authorizing disbursement from District 1 improvement funds for the Backpack Initiative, total $994.40. This was discussed in finance last week. On page 43, you'll be authorizing disbursement from District 7 improvement funds for the back to school supply giveaway. This is a total not to exceed $1,500 and came to you in finance last week. On page 44 and 45, you'll be adopting amendment number 5 to the FY 2024 General Fund Reserve for Future Improvements. This came to you in finance last week. And finally, on page 46, you'll be amending exhibits A and B of section 1942 of the Code of Tuscaloosa for environmental services, and this came to you in admin last week. Are there any questions for me?
Yeah, on page 39. Page 39.
Yes, sir.
Get back to it. What's the reason for the rejection? UTV, what's a UTV?
Off the top of my head, Mr. Busby and anybody in here that knows better can
So
jump
it's
up.
Whose head would it not be off the top of?
These are the ones that aren't street.
So UTV is a utility vehicle. It's the side-by-sides that you see going around. TPD has several of them, but we'd be using them in the parks, any of the river walks, to be able to get guys up and down the river walk to get trash, to take blowers, weed eaters, wherever we need to. We'd be utilizing one over at Sokol Park as well. Not Sokol Park, I'm sorry, Snow Hinton Park.
Okay, so what's the reason for the rejection of the bids?
So we've been, are these the three that so I'd have to look into that more. I know that we're going through trying to find the ones that we could put on the street because of some of the state requirements of trying to get insurance and being able to tag one, that we went away from trying to do the ones that were considered low speed vehicles and getting the ones that were primarily only used for off-road. And so we'd be leaving them at the parks or trailering them to the parks.
I think that's correct. I think the issue was the ones that we received the bid on actually were
Was it a mini truck?
were little miniature trucks.
Correct.
And we ran into sort of legal requirements as to where they could and couldn't operate. So between our office and CFG's kind of gone back and revisited, and I assume you'll have another.
So we
item
put the bids
discussed.
out for the wrong thing?
No, so the state requirements were not allowing us to get the ones that would do over 25 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And be able to put them on the street. So instead of getting the smaller mini, what's considered a mini truck or termed a mini truck, those are the ones you see around parts of the University of Alabama.
Yeah.
They're allowed legally on the street. We're going with the ones that are not allowed on the street, and we're going to either remain at a park or have to go.
Okay, so we're choosing not to have them on the street.
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, we got projects, 230 finance, 315 public safety. It might just be Counselor Lanier and Counselor Busby, possible. So you
It's
can
on.
And then council meeting at 6, special call framework planning and zoning commission, council chambers. I need to see each council person in sometime come to the principal's office. No, it's something that just affects us as a council, and I need to get your individual opinions on it. So if y'all just see me for 3 minutes. Okay. Anybody else have anything to bring before the pre-council? Okay, if not, is there a motion that we adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.